lesson for today we'll be looking at chemistry 15.2. The topic for today will be relating chirality and enantiomers. This is lesson 102. Let us start. In the last lesson video we've talked about chiral and achiral. Now we know very well that looking at chiral molecules, we're talking about those molecules which they have different mirror image, and then looking at achiral, it's those identical molecules with the mirror image which they are not chiral. So in this case we're trying to integrate or relate chirality and enantiomers. Now you should know that chiral molecules which they have different, or which they are different from its mirror image, they have an enantiomer. So meaning that if we have an object that is chiral, you should know that, or an object that has a chiral center, you should know that it has an enantiomer. Enantiomer is another type of an isomer. When we say enantiomers are mirror image isomers, it's a pair of compounds that are non-superimposable mirror images, which they are not identical. So it simply means that if you have an element or a molecule, let me not say an element, a molecule that has 4 different types of groups, you should know that it is chiral, and then since it is chiral, it has an enantiomer. And like I said, enantiomers are also classified as isomers. Now remember that the basics of isomers, I did mention that we have different types of isomers. Specifically, isomers are divided into 2. We have constitutional isomers and stereoisomers. And then enantiomers, it falls under stereoisomers. And you should know that if a molecule is not enantiomer, it is a diastereomer. So basically that is the opposite of enantiomer. There is a lesson video, a lesson series of isomers where we look at different types of diastereomers. That is where we find the cis and trans isomers. And another thing that is very important about enantiomers, you should know that they are different compounds, they can be separated. Enantiomers have the same physical and chemical properties, but they're just mirror images of each other. Now let us look at examples of enantiomers. So let's say we have 2-bromobutane. I'm going to start by drawing it using a simple Lewis diagram. It's 2-bromobutane. Okay, let's put, it's actually bromo, we need another carbon atom here. So we know very well if we put a mirror here, our bromine will be located somewhere here. It's just a mirror image. So this is 2-bromobutane. Let me actually draw it quickly. So looking at this, you can see that this is just a mirror image of the original molecule. And then the chiral center would be this carbon. As you can see, we have a methyl this side, we have a methyl this side, we have hydrogen, and then we have bromine, 4 different groups. So looking at this one, the very same thing, we have a methyl, actually methyl, we have hydrogen, and also Br here. So these are enantiomers. Now looking at a different type, remember that we are looking at how to draw them. Looking at the skeletal structure, we have something like this. Then this will be our Br. Then if you put a mirror here, we can write it like this. Then looking at the stereochemistry, or the 3D model of this, it will be CH2CH3. Then we have our methyl here. Put a mirror here. You expect to see something like it's BR, our chiral center here, and then we have our methyl here. And then we have our methyl here, and then we have our hydrogen here. And then looking at Fischer projection, this is another way to draw or represent these molecules, which is Fischer projection. There is lesson video whereby we talk about this. So we have BR, we have hydrogen, and then we have our ethyl here. If we put a mirror here, we are going to have CH3 our hydrogen here, and then our BR here, then our methyl here. So these are enantiomers. In the next lesson video, we'll be looking at the RNS configuration. Then we'll know how to name the enantiomers using the RNS configuration. That's it for this lesson video. This is Robla SJ. Thank you very much.